Okay, so today we're going to go over how to find some affiliates using CJ.com, which is Commission Junction is its name. We call it CJ for short. It is a marketing platform where, marketing house, I should say, where several high-end brand companies that have affiliate programs have come together and created this, okay, or where they market. And you can get commissions. Now, this is not um, residual income. This is literally they buy once, you get commission from it. If they come back again, you don't get commission the second time. I think if they buy within, and you have to look at the guidelines for each one, if they buy like within 60 to 90 days, you get commission within that first time. If they buy again, then you will get a commission on the second one if it's within that time frame. But after that, you don't. So this isn't one that they get residual income from. Um, it's literally a one and done, depending on, like I said, if they order within that 60 or 90 day time frame, then you will get a second commission. It won't be as much as the first one, but it is something that you can still market to get customers for, and to have other products that you can market within your website. So depending on how you want to market, if you want to basically have a general website where you market anything and everything, then CJ is perfect. If you want to be more of a specialty website where you only want to do health and wellness products, if you only want to do how-to programs, if you only wanted to do affiliate marketing programs, it's really up to you guys how you want to set up your website. Then again, you can come in and find a niche. If you want your whole website to be just a niche website, is basically what I'm saying. Then this is another platform that you can use. ClickBank is another one. You just go to clickbank.com. You don't have to get approval for them. You just have to answer their questions to get approval for the whole site. Once you have approval for the whole site, then you can go in and click any of those. And most of those are books or tutorials. Some of them are actual programs that you can use. So again, just go in there, play around with it, see what you need, what you can find that will suit your program or your website. Remember, our ultimate goal is to have comparable products on a page. You don't want a page to be a one product page. If you go to any website today, just click randomly what you're looking for. You're always going to find the product you're looking for plus complementary products to go with it. So that's what we want to do is you want to establish your website as, hey, not only can I find the product that I was generally looking for, but now I can see what pairs well with it together to give me the best results of what I'm looking for. Okay, whether that's gardening, self-help, hair care, weight loss, nutrition, tires, cars, whatever. So I do have a program for a car, where dealership. So one of the things I'm looking for now is car care. Okay, I want them to be able to go to a certain place and get their oil changed, or get a Groupon. I'm still trying to get approval for Groupon, where they can go in and get a Groupon and maybe get an oil change. I'm looking for car wash stuff, things like that that I compare with it. Now that you got your new car, let's keep the upkeep. So these are the things that you want to make sure you have your storyboard. I talked last week about creating your storyboard when we did our marketing. Don't just be a one and done type of website. You want to make sure that you're giving the most bang for their buck when they come to your site, that they don't just find one thing, that they find basically everything they're looking for in your website. Okay. So that's what we want to do. So I'm going to share my screen and show you guys CJ. Okay. So this is CJ. Once you go in and you register for CJ, there's going to be some things that you want to, the questions, since I'm already there, an affiliate of them, they're not going to be the questions. If you have any issues with answering those questions, bring them back to us next week, or get with your instructor. The MSIs that are here, they know how to get in there and do that. So this is my dashboard. So it's telling me I had 7 days of clicks from invalid links. So I had 3 people in the last 7 days that clicked the link from my website that's not valid anymore, that used to be here. So that means either they're not here anymore, or I got a bad link that they updated the link. So that's one of the things I got to fix. So here again, automatic replacement. So I have 2 programs that got replaced. So I'm just going to click on that. And I'm going to go in here and say, yeah, I want to fix that. I want to go ahead and so beach bound. So once I click on it and say, yes, I want to keep those, we're going to look and see what it is. So I joined that in 2022. It's still there. So again, so collection of beach. So this is a travel program. Okay. Commission rate is 1% of the vacation package, which includes minimum air and hotel combined. So that could be 1%. If they're spending, you know, $700 or $2,000, I get 1% of that as a commission. So again, it tells you everything that you can have, bonuses and stuff like that. So it got updated, which is good. So I don't have to do anything. I just had to go in here and say yes. So there is my links. If I don't want it anymore, I just click on this. Don't ever decline a program, because that can blacklist you on a platform. If you get approved for a program and then you decline it, don't ever decline it. If you never use it, that's fine. But you always want to make sure that you keep anything that you have access to. Here's my wine basket. So for those of you that have wine pages, this is a great program. I think it's on the list that you can get immediate approval for. So, and this is the general, what they tell you, what you usually, when people come and buy, this is the average sale that you can get, and you get 7% commission on it. So this is the average sale when people go in there. So these are things, and this is kind of like a marketing house. They have all kind of things in there. So if you go to winebasket.com, you can see that not only can they do wine baskets, you can do baby baskets, any kind of gift baskets, and it'll tell you right here. So you can do Father's Day, birthday, wine, champagne, gourmet, kosher, holidays and occasions. So you can basically go in there, figure out what they want. These are the baskets that they come in. You can, you know, you can see price ranges from $40 up to $500. So again, it tells you what they have. You can also see charcuterie boards and wine, comfort and care packages with teas. So again, it's just a great place where you can go in, and it tells you due to state laws, alcohol cannot be shipped. And then here's the states that you can't do. Signed for an adult over 21, which we all had. And then, you know, you're already an affiliate, so you don't have to worry about that. If you do click on affiliates, it's going to bring you back to CJ where you have to sign up. But you can see what the price is, gifts under $75. You can click on that and see what they have, where they have coffees and chocolates and candies and things like that. So they have all kind of things that you can get here. But this is, I know this is one of the programs that you can get approval for almost immediately. So I'm going to come back to my dashboard, and I remember I saw I had 6 programs that I've been approved for, and I just need to go in and click on it to say, yes, I want to be a part of them. So I need to see which ones those are. So yes, so Epic Vin. So this is cars and trucks. So yes, I got approval for that one. Remember I told you cars and trucks, you can get in here. But this is where they go and check internet services. So people that need internet. And this is a fairly new one. So I got approval for that. Kings. This is men's clothing, which I love. I need more men's. And it shows you right here. This is usually what is purchased. This is usually a 7-day, and you get 5% commission. So yes, I want all of these. I don't want to decline the offer, so I'm not going to click on anything. I'm just validating that yes, I want the offer. Beach bound vacation. So I'm clicking on that. And no, I don't want to do that. Remind me later. So it tells me all of this information that's in here. And so once you get approved, this is what it looks like. So you can come in here and you can see how much you should make from this particular banner. So if you have this banner and people click on this one, this is what you should make if they select a package. So it even tells you about how much you can make. Some of them have NA either because it's new or people just haven't done anything with it yet. So this shows you where you can get your codes, and I'll get that later. Once you get your code, you click right here where it says your code. And you click on that and it gives you two different options. Actually, it gives you three different options. So you can have your HTML code, which is right here. You have a click URL, which is just your link, or now they have QR codes where you can come in and select the QR code to put on your website or for the page that they want. Remember, people like QR codes, but if you're doing mobile friendly, they can't scan a QR code if they're using their device. So this would be something that you can put on your website. But again, this might be something that you want to include later, or maybe if you're doing an ad, that would be a good place to put a QR code. But again, this is the information that you have. And you always want to make sure that you have the codes. Also, if you have these images right here, if you click the HTML codes, it puts this image on your website. That's a clickable image that brings them to this page or this link where they can come and shop. And it will be linked to your code because there's your code that they have. So again, it's very simple, very easy. I usually use the click because I want a link. You want a clickable link. But there's different programs you can come in here like this one. If you use this one specifically, it's going to tell you 65% off. Also, the link does. But if you need a picture, use the HTML code because it shows this image. All right. Different, if you want to use a banner, here's a banner that you can use to show at the top of your page or the middle of your page that you can use. And again, if you want to use this banner, then you need to use the HTML code. And look at the different sizes. You have different size banners. So just hover over it and it'll show you what size banner you want, or it is. So this is a very small banner. These are also good codes to put in as a widget on your left side, right side, or at your footer to use these. So that when people come in, instead of having pop-up, especially if you don't have Google AdSense, these are good items to use when they have these banners. Just make sure it's small. You don't want the huge one. So always hover to see how big it is, how much space it's going to take up. Those of you that's been here a while, you know we're getting ready to go into wedding season, or we are in wedding season. May, June, July, August is wedding season. And then we turn around and start wedding season again in mid-September, October, November, January. Is another wedding season. So this will be a great place for people to go if you want to advertise for honeymoons. So again, family vacation. Here's another one. School's getting ready to get out, or some schools are already out. So this will be a great tool that you can use to market with. These pictures are perfect, or these codes are perfect that you can use. Beach bound perfect. Beach trip. So this is what it looks like. They can come in here, see where they want to go, destinations, the packages, and they can go from there. You can see they can go to Aruba, how much it's going to cost, Cancun, Cozumel. I love Cozumel. If y'all ever get a chance to go there, I loved it. This is my next place I want to go is Nassau. So you have Puerto Rico, Los Cabos. So there's different places that you want to go. You can, so these are just different, one of the products that are in here. So I'm going to go back to home. And it's going to bring me back to my dashboard. And once you sign up for these links, now this is one of the places that it tells you how many clicks you got. So this is yesterday, I got 7 clicks. I got 12 impressions. Unfortunately, no conversions. I have had conversions before. This is where you see your money that's come in. I've used all my money. I do make money on this one, but they do have a surcharge when you go to cash out. So be very aware of that to make sure that when you do cash out, that your surcharge doesn't take all your money. And But it's just one of those things. And it tells you right here how many you got applications, pending applications that you've tried. And these are all the new companies that have come in that you want to. So we need more cosmetics, we need more clothes. We got travel covered with Savings Highway Global. But here you can get mortgage loans, you can get shoes, luggage, phone cards, services. I don't know what that would be. We got wellness cover, but if you want to give people an option, if they don't like the Velveeta, they want something else, then you got things in here. Now, one of the things you have to be very aware of is that there are programs that you won't get approved for. And it's not anything personal, so don't take it personal. It could be because when they go to look at your site, they see competition there for their product. Or they don't see enough traffic for your site. So there's various things. That don't mean you can't apply again. There's one company I applied for 2 years before I finally got approval for it. It was a cruise company to that I loved. I think it was Paradise something. I can't remember what it was. They didn't stay on CJ long, but it took me 2 years to get approval for them. And I did make money. I had at least 2 bookings from my website because I made a couple $100 from it. So don't give up. Just wait in between applying for them again. Make sure you got traffic. Make sure you got good programs out there. The one thing about CJ is when you do apply for them for a particular product, make sure you have pages or a category relating to that product. Not necessarily other companies, but make sure you have valid pages. Don't go and say, hey, I want to talk about cars. I want to get information on mortgages, and don't have anything in your website about homes, home improvement, or anything like that. Don't go and look for wellness if you don't have anything in your website talking about wellness. Don't apply for a holistic program or company if you don't have that in your website. They want to make sure that you have valid traffic coming to your site for the product or service that you want to get approved for. So be very cautious of that, okay? So it comes here, it says find advertisers. So when you come in here and you get approved to get started, just go to find advertisers. And it's going to pull up a list and these of everything. And it's going to start with the numbers. Those of you that are English class, you always start with your numbers first and work your way down, or abbreviations. So you can see these have abbreviations. You also want to be very careful of this. This tells you where it can be advertised and the type of currency it's going to be paid in. So you always want to make sure that you look for USD. Okay, you don't want to do any conversion. You don't, because they charge you to do conversions. Okay. So you have this one, and then all you do is when you find one, you have 2 different ways. You can just start alphabetically and just work your way down, see what you see, what you like, and you're just going to click apply to program. Okay. But you can actually come down here and see where it says categories. You can actually select your category. Well, I only want to do accessories, or I just want to do beauty, or if you want to pick several different ones, you can. You can say, I just want to do department stores and malls. I just want to do marketing. I want to do, so you can actually select what you want. And then serviceable areas, you can actually come and select, well, I only want to market in the United States. Again, I just want people that speak English. Advertisers, countries, again, you can come in here and you can basically pinpoint. If you only want to do United States, you can do United States. If you want to do just Canada, you can do just Canada. If you want to do a mixture, you choose which one. So you can really pinpoint and determine and find your niche market by just selecting these blocks, and then it will adjust over here. Now, like I said, you don't always get approval, but we're going to come in here. I don't have enough of sports and fit. I got enough of fitness, but I don't have enough sports, but they're all together, sports and then recreational. Okay. Those are the things I want to look for right now. And then I'm going to come here and hit search. All right. So now it's giving me anything that's related to sports and recreational, whether it's clothes, jewelry, travel, wherever. So this one right here doesn't give me much information. So I know this is pretty new. Okay. It doesn't tell me where it pays out, but you can see right here, this is not the United States, but if you click it and open it up, it will tell you some information, serviceable area. So this is the only place that you can advertise this, and it pays in euros. So if you advertised here and got a sale from here, then you got to worry about that conversion. Okay. So this is something I would not be interested in. So I wouldn't want to do that. So here's another one it says 12. So where's that one? That's United States, United States and Canada. So it pays in Canadian and US. So what does it sell? Active women's clothes. So this is women's wear. So what do I want to do? First thing I want to do is click on this and look at their site. Always click the site from their advertising information here on CJ. So now we can see what kind of clothes they have. One of the things I want to do is look and make sure it's something that's classy, something that I would market, something that I would wear. If it's not something that I would wear, I most likely wouldn't market it. So I know this is something I would wear, but so I wouldn't market that. And don't assume just because it's here that you will get approval. It doesn't work that way. See, they even have camping and hiking, but you see it's in Czechoslovakia. That's not going to work. Here's one in Europe. I would love to find some camping places, but this is in Europe. I'm not going to do that here in the United States. Again, that's not here. A day's march, that's men's. And you can, Academy Sports. I shop at Academy Sports all the time. So let's see if we can get approval for that. I know I can. I've been trying for a year. So I'm just going to come here and click apply to program. And it has all these information. So it has terms and conditions. So I try to read through some of these. Most of them say the same thing over and over about competition. You know, if you got different things like firearms or anything like that on your site, they won't approve you. If you have low information, if you have derogatory stuff on your site, you're not going to get approval. If you have low information there or low numbers, they're not going to approve you. So you're just going to click through here, accept and apply. They usually have that. All right, so it tells you right here, they do it manually. Okay, so this is one of those companies, they don't have bots. They will actually have somebody to go in and check it and check your site. And one of the things that you will do is you need to come here within a couple of days and you're going to go to your home page, and where it says pending approval, it will tell you if you've been approved or not. Or you can come up here to your email in your inbox right here, and you will get a notification if you weren't approved. They don't tell you why, but you can dispute it if you want to. So this is where, like Golden Tours, I was denied Couture Candy. This one, I get terminated all the time because I don't make a sale. But I can come back in, say today, and go back and apply. I'll get approved again. Okay. So and I really wanted Halar, so I'll try for that again because I love those dresses. Ethel Chocolates, I got approved for them once, but I didn't make any sales with them, so now it's hard for me to get there. So again, some of these things, like I said, I haven't marketed them, so it's been terminated. So that's one of the things you want to do. See who got terminated. You just go back and reapply. You can get back with them again. But some of these, like Boscov's, I got approved for them once, and then they did something wonky. They went away from CJ. They came back, and now it's hard to get approved for them. but I keep trying. Same thing with this one. Amy Clubwear is a great product line. It's got some great stuff, but it's hard to get approved for them. That don't mean I don't stop trying. So again, these are just things. They have a lot of pet stuff in here. They have a lot of home care, a lot of health stuff. So we're just going to go back here to advertisers. And again, you can even, like I was showing you what I was looking for, but if you just want to come here and type in a keyword and say camping and hit search, then it'll pull up anything dealing with camping. So you don't have to do it. If as long as you know a keyword that you want to use, you can come here and do that, and it'll tell you what you're looking for. Let's see, it says get links. Let's see if it says, wait, get approval. All right, so if you see this plus, that means you haven't been approved yet. All right. So I'm going to go, because it's one I just got approved for, or I just applied for. So it's going to take it a minute or a couple of days. So I'm going to come back here but usually when you've applied for something, you'll see this. That means you've applied for it. If you come back tomorrow and look under Academy and it has applied for a program, that means you didn't get approved. Okay, so these are the things you want to do. Again, you want to look to see Action Heat for men's. So we're going to apply that. I think that's a clothing line. Again, they check it, and you just go through and find what you want. So that one's not in the US. Furniture, I really don't want furniture. That's a big ticket item usually. Virtual mall, let's try that one. It doesn't pay a lot, okay, but again, it's something that I can market. So we're going to see they approve manually. And this is one of the things I did one day, literally all day. BioLite Energy. So see, that one said it was a decline. Why? Because I don't have anything on my site, I can tell you now, about this product. So why would they approve me? I don't have anything remotely related to that. But I wanted to give it a try. Okay. Coleman's, I've been trying for years to get Coleman's, and I can't. So we're going to try again. Okay, it's just submitted for review. Dick's Sporting Goods. No, I don't shop at Dick's Sporting Goods. And here's some consumer electronics. So we're going to apply for them. Let's see. No, that's Canada. I don't market a lot in Canada. And I don't like to have places on my site that just goes to that place. So this is for Canada only, but let's see to make sure if it only can market in Canada. See, Canada only, Canadian dollar. No, I don't want to do anything with that. So we're going to close that back up. So this is new. Fantic, let's see what it is. It's in China, Cars and Trucks, United States. Outdoor gear, home improvement. So this is a tool company. Let's see what it is. So it has tools, screwdrivers. It's part of Klarna. So whenever you go to these sites and you see those little pop-ups like that one's for Klarna, that means they can have pay as you go, basically. A payment plan where they can come in, purchase, as long as they got an approval, whatever their approval is through Klarna, they can come up and set a payment plan where they'll pay X amount of dollars for every couple of weeks, sort of like layaway. But they'll go ahead and send them their products and they'll just pay for it on a payment plan. So whenever I see that kind of thing pop up, I want to take note of it. And then when I write the article, I put in there, this is a program you can get approved through for Klarna. And most people knows what Klarna is. So it has all these screwdrivers. You can see what their price points are. They even have camping gear. So this is things. Now, will I get approved for this? I don't know. They even got pool stuff. battery packs, blow dryers, portable kids toys. So this is, a pretty good site. So let's see if I can get approved, what it's going to say. So when I come here and apply for program, what is it going to tell me? So review. And if you get approved for it, whatever email you signed up for, you'll start seeing emails from them that you got approved. You're going to start seeing, it'll say welcome to. The only ones they don't show is if you got declined. You have to come in here and check your email, your mail. So these are the different things that you can do if you want to come back and change your search and say, hey, let's look up some jewelry. Okay, and you just type in jewelry. All right, so here's the different jewelry that they have. And again, you just do the same thing. You just click to approve. If they approve you, manually. Again, I try for this one every time I come in here because you just never know. They might approve me at one time. Ask for jewelry. I'm going to try it for that. I have no jewelry on my other than me. So I like to have, I'm not a big into Avon, but those that want to do Avon, you can do Avon. Bridal jewelry, you have that. Here's Boscov's. I'm going to try again, see what it says for review, and I'll check it tomorrow. So again, Europe, Brighton jewelry. Try that. Nope. Okay, this one has a 10% commission. DH Gate. So I already have that one. So this one here I already have. This one, Disco Dance, no. And again, if you feel that you can market in these other countries, don't hesitate to try or for approval. Sometimes you can get approval for these other countries before you can get approval here in the United States, sad to say. Here's one that's got art. So those that like art, you can put that Fossil. I loved my Fossil watch when I had it, but I can never get approval Fossil. Most people don't use those type of watches, but I'm sure they have it. See, like Gabrielle and Company, I got that one. That's one of my companies that I can market. Jewelry and Vortex. So let's see what that one is. See, automatically decline. It's all right. Good stone jewelry. And you can just go through here. And once you get approval, see Harley Davidson. I would love to have Harley Davidson. I could write so much on Harley Davidson. Hobby Lobby. Oh, I would spend all my money there. I can never get to approve for them though. I already put in there when I had to dispute it and tell them how much money I spend there a week. So that's how you do that. And then once you do that, then you can come here back to partners and go to my advertisers. Okay. And once you come back to your advertisers, it's going to show you all the companies that you have approved. All right. So you're going to do my advertisers active. And then you can, and it puts them in alphabetical order. And you can see all the different companies that you have approval for. Now, I left them a few years ago when Roy said we weren't using them anymore. I shouldn't have done that, but I did. So I'm rebuilding mine back up. Okay, so right now I only have a few that I'm working on, but these are the ones. This tea company is great. Here's some airport parking reservations. Here's a vape company. Different things. Here's the games. The vacation, women's clothing. Here's pet care, bath and body, women's clothing, handbags, men. There's my hats. Here's my botanical gardens, which is nutrient supplements, vitamins and stuff, calendars. So I even got a charbroil, which we need a new grill. Flights, air flights, here's one for matchmaking. So again, there's just different things you can come in here. Clubs of America. I love this one. I use this especially for when we have different occasions coming up, like for Father's Day, Mother's Day. This is where I go in and I make sure I market this heavily because this has several different clubs in there, and it's a monthly club where they can come in and they can get a subscription for a year, for anybody. And they have different wines. They have wine, they have beer, they have flowers. This one, cigars. You got coffee, fruit, chocolate. You can even get pizza of the month. So these are, and you can create a custom mix. Maybe 1 month you want them to get wine, month one you want to get pizza, chocolate. So you can come in here and market this. And when you come back to CJ, you can see the different programs that they have, and you can click the links. You can actually use this one card that you want to use. You can get your link, and you have your HTML code. So when you click your Club of America, again, you'll be able to come in here, get the link. You can have your HTML link. You can have your click link, or you can have your QR code. So when you click on that company to get the links, then it shows you all the different things that you can use. So if you want to do just pizza, you can grab this pizza picture and use the HTML code when you get the links. Here's your code. So you can, again, use the HTML, which would show your picture. You can use your click link, which would then you can use in there, or you can grab your QR code. All right. You have your chocolate of the month. So you have all your different things. Then you have your text. Maybe you just want, it says cigar of the month club. So maybe you just want to use a text down at the bottom as your footers, and don't want to use an image. You can use that and put that in your website too. So again, it just depends on what you want to use. Hover over the pictures to give you how you want to see it. This will be a great one to use that shows everything. If you just want to use wine, for those of us that have all those tons of wine pages, here's a great one that you can use. And I'm pretty sure this is one you can get immediate approval to. This one also has beer, imported beer, local beer, got cigar of the month. My husband had this one at one time, and I let it lapse, but he does what is it? CJ, no, JRs. So he does JRs now, which JRs used to be on here for cigars, but they left. I tried to get them. I couldn't get them, but he loves his JR cigars. So they have chocolate of the month. So again, you can just come in here, select what you want. Make sure it's appropriate. You see this one has a bow. People to automatically assume it's Christmas instead of just a gift. So again, just make sure if you choose to use these banners that you use the one that's appropriate. And again, like I said, these would be great pictures using the HTML code in your widgets to put in your sidebars and your footers down at the bottom to clean up some or take up some space. So again, just go to cj.com, use that information, and find you guys some new affiliates to work with. So yeah, I have a Digistore. I haven't used it yet, but I have one. I haven't had a chance to go in and look at it. Yes, YouTube videos will be a great place to use QR codes, especially on your pictures. Just remember that most people are on digital. They're using their mobile device, and that's usually what you use to scan your QR codes. But it's still there. So I would use, if you have the option to use all three and a place that you could use all three, then yes, you can use all three. No, that just means that I had 7 visitors to several different, it could have been the same link, it could have been 7 different links. So I don't know. It doesn't tell me what they went to see. It just tells me that I had 7 visitors on links that I clicked. And I know all of my links are in my website. So that tells me I had 7 visitors last week that went in to view something on my website and click the link. 3 of those links that they couldn't click because they were invalid. I don't know which links those are. So again, that's one place that you can see that you're getting traffic to your site. And that's one thing that these people that declined you or don't approve you, they can see that you have traffic. They can most likely see the click ratio. I'm not saying that they can, but I'm assuming they can. So once they see that you have valid traffic coming in, then yeah, you're more likely to get more approvals. But don't give up. But I wouldn't go in every week and try to reapply for those that you get declined for. Give it a couple months and go back and do it again when your site's up and running, when you got more stuff to do. And like I said, some of those sites I got declined for, I have nothing in my website that would even be comparable for them. So they wouldn't give me permission. So if I want to do Hobby Lobby, then I need to have some crafting pages in my website, which I don't. I don't have any crafting pages. So those are the things you want to think about when you're looking for new affiliates. Do you have pages in your site that you can market for them? If you haven't, then make sure you create pages, and they don't have to necessarily have a link in them at the time, but just make sure that you have the content so that when they scroll through your website, they can see that you got valuable content that they can utilize with their product. Yes, William.
ChatGPT told me that you can use HTML code in the classifieds for free. Is that true? And
I
instead of a
haven't
description, you can code it?
I haven't tried the HTML code. If it says you can, you probably can.
Okay.
However, classifieds for free may reject it because it's
Uh,
not technically a picture.
yeah, it said you could put in clickable links in that. So in other words, you could have more than one link, because the classified just has one link you can put in
Yeah,
there.
now classifieds for free, I don't think you can. Classified ads, you can. I've put clickable links in classified ads and coding. Now, I don't know about classifieds for free because every
Uh,
time I've tried to put code in there, it's always told me I couldn't. But I
Okay.
know in classified ads, I've put coding and I put clickable links in it.
All right, I'll double check. That's what ChatGPT said, but he can be a little slow sometimes on certain things.
Yep. So just, I would try it. You have nothing to
Uh,
lose.
Okay.
It'll tell you if it won't do it. I do know
Okay.
that. Okay. So does everybody understand about using that? And there, like I said, I did put um, the Google Doc in there. Like I said, some of their programs have changed, some of their terms have changed. But if you go through that list and you type in the name where I was showing you, where it has name or category or keyword, if you type in the name of that company and it pops up, go ahead and hit apply to program or join program. If you get accepted, it will tell you immediately, congratulations. You saw where it's telling me, hey, you're going to have to wait. They do it manually. It takes 2 or 3 days. Sometimes it shows up immediately up there. But if you get approval, it'll show you immediate approval, and then you'll get an email. And that email has some great information. And they will continue to email whenever they have promos. They will give you emails for new HTML codes that you can use for images, for banners, and things like that. So be aware of that when you get approval, that you're going to start seeing those things come in your email. And don't assume it's junk. And it's going to say hello affiliate. So just remember that it's going to say or partner, affiliate or partner. So you know it's coming from CJ. Just open those up, see what it is, and utilize them. If you've applied for them, then that means you want to use them. I apply for a bunch of stuff just on the happenstance that I may use it, and then I forget that I have them. So that's where you see where mine got terminated because I didn't use them, I didn't apply for them, or I didn't write anything or use them in my site. So I'm going to go back and find those emails on my CJ and get those companies and go back and reapply. If they terminate you too often because you don't use them, then they'll start declining you. So you don't want that to happen. So next time I do that, I'll make sure that I use those companies. So that's how you can use it. And ClickBank works the same way. The only difference is in ClickBank, you don't have to get approval. Once you get approval for their whole site, you have approval to use any of the program in there. Okay, and we'll go over that next week to show you guys how to use ClickBank, or you can do it on your own. And just see, it basically works the same way. You just type in a category, look for the program. It shows you how much you potentially could make off of each sale of that and your commission rate. Again, that's a one and done. You do have that time period. I think it's 60 to 90 days. You have to look at it. Some of them's 120 days. If they buy again within that time frame, you get a commission. If not, then if they come in 6 months later and buy, you won't, unless they go back through your link. That's the only thing. If they go back through your link, then it resets itself. But if they set up a customer base or customer account through your original link the first time, when they go back in and buy the second time, if it's outside that 60 to 90 days, you don't get another commission from it. So just be aware of that. Okay. All right. Any questions?
Off the wall, but I have one more.
Okay.
Um, when I finished the better or the benefits, employee benefits page. We're
Mm-hmm.
supposed to have a thank you page to go with that as well. Is that correct? Second
Um,
thank you page, I believe.
well, technically, yes. When they go to sign up through that information, you should have a link at the bottom that sends them to your thank you page. Now, you can already have a thank you page. Most everybody should have a thank you page. Instead of having two thank you pages, I would go in and update that one so it's more of a cover all
Okay.
um, thank you page. Because
Now
if you
it'll
have
be
two thank you pages, then you're going to have a number two beside one, and you're going to get that lovely message that says, you've used this keyword before.
right, right. And my original thank you page is floating, so if I use that one to make it a like one for all thank you page, I'll tie it to the benefits, and then it'll be tied to something.
Exactly.
Okay. All
Exactly.
right. That'll work. Thanks.
Mm-hmm. All right. So we're going